I grew up in Meekatharra and Wiluna, right in the middle of outback Western Australia, 46 degrees every day in the summer in the shade. I spent 4 years of my life living overseas in Scotland and pursuing my career as an artist, and when I came back to Australia, I looked at Australia through fresh eyes, and that's when I first started painting our beautiful flora and fauna. I was so privileged to have the experience of growing up with the Martu people. We grew up around the campfire telling stories, sleeping under the stars, going out hunting for emu eggs and goanna. And yeah, I just thought that that was totally normal, and I didn't realise until I was older that I had such an amazing experience as a child. So this is the heat of summer at the moment. We've been having so many days over 40, I can't even count. This is the first mural on the side of the gallery, and you can see it as you come through the main street of town. And we're right next to the Railway Hotel, which is a bonus. Every town has to have the classic pub, and that's ours. I had a bit of a dream that if we could be mortgage free, then we'd be able to pursue our creative talents rather than get a real job. So I looked everywhere online. I looked in Tasmania, I looked down south, I was just looking for cheap houses, and then a house came up for sale in Mullewa, and that sparked our interest. The first offer that we put in, we didn't actually end up getting that house, but over about 6 months we put offers in old derelict houses that were sitting, not even listed for sale, to see if anyone was interested in selling. And then finally we managed to get a house for a mere $17,000, which was amazing. So we were able to be completely mortgage free. And I've got 3 kids, and my daughter was only 7 weeks old at the time. So it was a really amazing opportunity for me to be able to pursue my art, which I otherwise wouldn't have been able to do, I don't think. Throw the ball and see if you'll come back. So yeah, this is a 100-year-old house that came off the back of a truck from Big Bell mining town. So you can see from the floorboards like how old it is. It's beautiful. And we can sit out here on the veranda and yeah, have a view out over the countryside, and yeah, I love it. In fact, when I was painting at home, I spent a lot of time painting out here. I think it's a great lifestyle when you've got little kids. Every time I go to the city now, I'm a country pumpkin and I can't stand the traffic jams. Yeah, but I enjoy being here as a base, and then we can go off to the city and I can have my creative artistic feel and go and see all the exhibitions and bands and creative people and get all inspired, and then I can come back here as a base. And it's a bit like a writer moving somewhere quiet to be able to have that headspace to be able to create, which is great. I never planned any of this. So we literally moved here for the real estate. I was already painting wildflowers for 15 years or so. Had been my subject of choice before I moved here. I never in a million years thought I would sell my work here. And it wasn't until we even really moved here that I understood how amazing the wildflowers were. It's crazy that you can be somewhere like Geraldton and yet you don't even realise things that are sometimes on your back doorstep. So when I was here and I got to see first person, because there's a difference between coming out for a day and actually living here. So in the 8 weeks or so that we have wildflowers, every week is different. So we get the yellow flowers come out first, and then we have the white flowers, then we have another yellow, and then right at the end is the blue flowers and everything in between. So when you live here, you get to really experience and how different it is week to week and how different it is every year. So it's amazing. I never expected to be an artist full-time in a little town, never expected to have a gallery in a little town. So this shop purely came about when we first moved here. To my surprise, I discovered thousands and thousands of tourists just for 2 months of the year, wandering around, beautiful town, nowhere to even buy a coffee, and wanting something to do. So my dad actually had the idea of maybe just having a little pop-up shop and putting some art on the walls as something that people can look. But when everyone came in, they all wanted a coffee. And yeah, it's been amazing. It's very hard to believe when it's quiet like this, but we get 200 people a day come through. It's amazing. My dad's probably been like one of my biggest supports for everything that I've been doing with my art. He comes up with ideas for my paintings. He's like the steady guy that comes down and helps me to hang all the works. He helps me figure out my finances with the business. And yes, he had to help me make coffees on a few days because we've got worldwide barista shortages with COVID at the moment. I was so lucky to get some fantastic girls come and work for me. But on the few days that they had off or different things happened, life happens, my dad came down and helped serve cake and coffee as well. So thanks, Dad, he's amazing. When I first started painting flowers, I had the visitor centre in Port Hedland asked me to put a Mullewa on a tea towel. And they said, if you put that on a tea towel, we'll buy 200 of them up front. And that was the first time I'd considered doing tourist products. And what I've realised is that tourist products don't have to be cheesy Australiana, cheap and tacky. They can be really classy, designer, Australian-made, local artist products. So I have calendars, tea towels, cards, prints of my work, and different little knickknacks so that not everyone that comes through can buy a $5,000 painting, but they might want to get a $6 card or they might want to get a $25 tea towel. So it kind of value adds to what I'm doing. The picnic blankets are by far my biggest selling item. They're made of wetsuit fabric, neoprene. So you can take them down the beach, you can just flick all the sand off, the water and sand just comes straight off. And they're just beautiful and bright and colourful. Everyone that's bought one has said that if they're at the beach, people come up and say, where did you get that from? Or they come back and buy another one as a present for like a wedding present or a baby shower or something because they're just so practical. You can spill stuff on them, chuck them on the line, hose them down. Yeah, they're fantastic. So every artist is different. I never ever have a finished picture in my head, which is why I don't like doing commissions, because someone might have an idea of what they think it will look like, but I can't see into their head and they can't see into mine. So I might have an idea, for example, that I'm going to do some black swans, which I'm painting at the moment, and then I'll have no idea where I'm going to go from there. And then I'll sit the painting for a while and then I'll go, oh, I know, I'm going to put them in this kind of water, I'm going to put these kind of flowers. And then sometimes I'll do it and I don't like it and then I'll change it. Sometimes a painting will flow right from start to finish and I don't make any changes and it's just beautiful. Sometimes I'll change it and I'll change it and I'll change it and then finally I'll go, right, it's finished. And the trick with my work is my work looks very simple and very clean. So if I do change it 4 or 5 times, I need to make it so that it doesn't look overworked and messy and that I've stuffed up. It still needs to look really effortless. And so sometimes I think my work can look quite simple, but sometimes it's hard to make something detailed look simple. So to me, it's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. It's fun every time I'm trying to figure it out and figure out how it's going to work. What's been really surprising for me as well is that I've had big exhibitions in some of the best galleries in Perth, right in the CBD. I've been selling more work here in this little country town than in big solo exhibitions in Perth, which I never would have believed in a million years. And I think it's because when people travel up here, they're having the full experience. So they're seeing the wildflowers, you know, they're in this beautiful romantic mood. They come in, they have coffee, they meet the artist, they're seeing the art and they want to take away something little with them as well. So like I said, I never planned any of this, but it's just been amazing how it's happened. I made the decision last year to not have a Perth show. I talked to a few galleries about having a show and then I actually decided, no, I want to have my exhibition here and I want to publicise for people from Perth and around Australia to come here to not only to see the gallery but to visit the Wildflowers as well. So that's been really amazing.